This is an HR program on demand, a living seed capsule of work life and workplace coming live from a rooftop in Stockholm, Sweden. It's me, Anne Marie Andric, and
me, Katarina Berg.
A vodcast, if you like, on HR, straight across the counter. Sponsored by HR The Real Deal, HR by HR for HR. Katarina?
Yes.
Hello.
Hello.
I thought...
dangerous.
Yeah, sometimes. You never know where this could end.
Yeah.
No, but seriously, people first. I think this is an expression that we hear over and over again. A lot of companies are using it. You see that in reports and trend reports and what have you. What is people first? And you also use it, right? You're a people first company.
Yeah, I think we do, not necessarily as a company, but I think the HR department, I do it. And I think we use it in two versions. Sometimes we say human first. Sometimes we say people first. We mean the same thing. And if I recall right, it was a former colleague of ours, Tess, that said, maybe we are more human first. And I like that because it resonated with me. People... It's such a metallic, a bit like, yes.
It's a bit distant.
People.
Yeah.
You
people over there.
Human beings, and how can we be a bit more human?
Yeah.
So I wanted to demystify that a bit, because every time you dare to be purpose-driven, if you dare to be value-driven or based, trust-based, it's very easy for other people and your own people. But in our case, our bandmates, to make fun of that or use that in a way that obviously is not supposed to. And then when you then throw something in like people first too, it's very easy to go, is that what a people first company do? Or that people first would be something that is like a pampering, very soft, not at all performance focused. That it wouldn't be anything that has to do with running or trying to achieve or become a very sustainable, great business. And I think it's totally the opposite. I think actually to be people first and have a philosophy and understand what that means will help you become a sustainable, healthy, great business. And maybe we haven't seen that many cases, but I'm for sure where we use it and the way that I think of it, I think Spotify for sure is trying to do that. So I wanted to demystify the kind of the saying a bit, because I think I'm going to give you a couple of examples of what I usually hear, and not necessarily at Spotify, but when I'm out speaking or doing keynotes, and I'm pretty sure you're going to recognize this too. So what does it mean? So it means a couple of things. First of all, what you promise, you will invest in your people. A people first company invests. So it invests, for instance, in promises of upskilling and cross-skilling and reskilling. It also promises in off-skilling, because you can't just add and add and add. So you do understand that most people can only do so much. So you have that. The other thing is, in a day-to-day, what a people-first company too. So no matter what's trending and what words are trending, people need to feel safe. There needs to be speed. And when you need to have speed, you need to have trust. So the safety and the trust is very, very important. And then we can put it again into different words that we like to toy around or toss around. But how do you do that? Both when it comes to the physical kind of space, if people work home or if people work in an office. But also then, of course, in the ambience of between peers, between all people, and then between, band members and also the managers. And I think first you understand, and two, you believe that is important to create that safe space. And three, you also understand that it's not something or a campaign you do once. You work at that all the time. And yes, it also means that sometimes you don't succeed. But instead of trying to kind of wipe it under the rug, you talk about it and you try to improve and you apologize. Or if that behavior is shown over and over again, you tell the people that don't necessarily understand or want to play nicely, that we don't have room for that type of behavior. Or as we say in our band manifesto, we don't have patience for entitled egos. So you can do mistakes in a people first company, and you can do them maybe 1, 2, 3 times, but you have to learn from them, and if it hurts somebody else, it's not acceptable.
Right.
So people first, so competence development, right? Safety, some sort of safety and trust-based, very purpose-driven, meaning that you understand that most people are like yourself, even if you are in an executive team. If you understand the bigger picture, it's more fun. When it's fun, you're doing a better job. And if you also understand that people that are more informed, they are also then in many ways, it's going to be easier for them to do a really good job. And then I think after inflation, macroeconomic kind of state that wasn't the perfect one the last 2 years for everybody, including people first companies, I think also it was important for me to tell people that just because you're a people or human first company, you're not shielded from macroeconomy. You're not shielded from inflation. But the way that you deal with situations that nobody wants to end up finding themselves in, meaning
Right sizing
or reduction in force.
Yes.
If you need to let people go, there are different ways you can do it. But if I'm just going to do and not fly over too high and not go into details, because I think we can talk, and maybe we should talk about that in another podcast. But first of all, you need to explain why. How did we end up here? You also need to kind of assume some sort of responsibility and accountability. People, again, don't have to like where you ended up, but they have actually, I believe in the people first company, they have the right to understand why.
Yes.
So the narrative is really important. Secondly, when that narrative is out there to everybody, and you are and taking the tough decision that should never be easy, never taken lightly, but where you have come to the conclusion that you need to be fewer people, that you have those conversations one-to-one, and that you focus on the people that are directly affected first. Then there is a lot of people that also are scared or upset or even angry. You need to communicate with them too, but that maybe can come a bit later. And I'm not talking about weeks or months later. I'm talking about hours and days later, maybe 8 days. So you have those conversations one-to-one in person, because these were people that did really good work for you, and they were loyal, and they are very smart, and they worked really hard. And most of them don't want to leave. I would say almost everybody. But I think for us, the experience when 95% or more said in every conversation that we had, thank you for doing this in person. Thank you for taking the time. I understand. And it makes sense. And thank you also, last part, thank you for the rich, maybe a strange word for people that don't necessarily are for you, but for their generous settlement.
Yes.
Those things you also do. You take care of your people even when they are leaving you.
Yes.
With that said, it doesn't mean that, oh my God, that was easy, that was fun, want to do it again. Doesn't mean that we did everything perfect. But your ambition as a people first company, even in hard times, because all hard situations define you. So you can say all these slogans, but when you are hit by something that is not easy, this is also when you actually are value-based, trust-based, people first. So it comes with a lot of things. I'm not going to go through all. You can read them in the Spotify HR blog, but I think that I thought it was helpful both for our people, but also for everybody that is thinking about, are we a people first company, and what is it and what is it not? And I think you should never be afraid of trying to have an ambition, because there will be a couple of people that obviously will find where you can do like, is this 100% people first? No, but what is the opposite?
Yeah.
Right? And what if you can be a very successful business and still take care of your people? Wouldn't that be what we all should aspire to be?
Yes. Amen. Yeah, I think that's
a wrap
that's
then,
a
right?
wrap. I mean, it's impossible to ask any more questions. You said it all. Human first, human-centric. I medalje.
I det medalje.
I det medalje.
Yeah. And while you eat the medalje, stay safe, stay
Strong.
and stay active.
Stay active. I det medalje.
I det medalje.
Alltså, ser vi cleant här va? Och så jobbar vi liksom colorful här borta. Jättebra. Snyggt. Looking good, looking sharp. Looking like Katarina Berg. It's always nice to have a very sharp looking person next to you. It maybe rubs off on me.
Yeah. I'm happy.
Happy.
I've been spending time with my team, makes me happy. Not younger, but happy. I have the best team ever. They are so exciting to work with, and I learn things every day.
Hur kan en fullvuxen människa vara så gullig? Det är en unge det här.
What?
You're a kid.
What?
You're a kid.
I'm not.
Yes, you are. Det var väl bra.
Okay.
Jag tyckte att du ställde skåp. Det var väl ingenting. Jag ställde en fråga. Det var 10 minuter långt svar. Det var perfekt. Behöver inte göra mer.